One of the most exciting episodes of The Walking Dead, deeper in script to develop the traumas that Rick went through there at CRM, things we couldn't even imagine, and finally Rick and Michonne's escape from this group. But they actually managed to escape without anyone knowing. It is the perfect escape or not? In this video, I'm gonna make the review and recap about everything of this episode, and if you wanna know, let's go. Hello everyone, my name is John Victor and I'm back to talk again about The Ones Who Live. The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, this spin-off that weekly is giving us more and more. In this case, we have an emotional episode. One of the most different scripts so far in this show. And again, we have a lot to talk, so don't forget to give the like, don't forget to subscribe in my channel. I will keep doing these reviews weekly. Here we go. Easily, this is the episode that gave the most different sensations and emotions. You go from being angry at Rick to feel sorry for him. Sometimes you also get angry for Michonne. This is like an emotional torture, really. An episode that is dividing opinions between those who really understood that we need this time between Rick and Michonne and this revelation about his traumas in the CRM. And the ones who don't like this are the ones who only like explosions, action and shooting, and this show is not only about it. Especially this episode, I think, is the one that was made to try to win some awards in acting, writing, directing. This story here fully reflects the way they promote this show, a love story. And going back to the beginning of the episode, we have a very different vibe with the different soundtrack. This location, this apartment that most of the episode is in here, is very creative. They use the technology. They use an apartment that is abandoned, but it still has power, it still has water, still has electronics technology working very well. So probably the owner of this apartment died recently. We see in the episode that the owner is probably some kind of scientist, some kind of expert that runs a lot of technology, that was trying to find some cure, but he gave up. And it brings us to the conversation with Michonne. And it starts in a very good way with a big revelation. Finally, the revelation about the RJ, that Rick has a son with Michonne and already have 8 years old at this time. And that's the first scene that surprised me because of Rick's reaction. His reaction is very different than we have expected. I think me and everyone was expecting a reaction that Rick supposed to be very interested about it, is supposed to ask more about him. But in this scene, we see that there's something wrong with Rick because he don't care about it, and he also asks about the radio to leave. I mean, what happened here? And this moment really increased the tension. Michonne gets even angry, so at this time we understand that this is an episode with a lot of revelations, with a lot of conversation, but a necessary conversation. They start their first fight here, and it brings us to the revelation to Michonne about Jadis. The explanation that she didn't know about the threats that CRM and also mostly Jadis gave to Rick. This is important to Michonne understand why Rick can't leave this group. Why he understands there's no way for him to leave the CRM. He's afraid. He's so afraid. And all the conversations in this episode gives us more clues about this. So in this time we can understand that the first try of Michonne to convince Rick was the RJ thing. It didn't work. So there we go to the second try. Her second try is when she finds out everything about Jadis and she got a resolution in her mind. She explains to Rick like some kind of a plan where they go back to the CRM, destroy all the evidence, and they kill Jadis, so they will be able to leave. So even with this, Rick don't feel safe, and let's go to the third attempt. The third attempt to convince Rick is when they find out that Michonne saved them without knowing she was saving, because when they jumped from the helicopter, it was about to hit the other building. And at this time you can say, okay, we have a solution. The CRM will think they both died, there's no clues, everything is okay. Now they can leave, they can go. That's what Michonne is thinking. But this is the moment on the episode that we understand that there's some problem inside the Rick Rick's mind. It's not working because Rick's still resistant and he's still afraid, so afraid, showing that all this is much deeper. We can see a side of Rick that now he prefers to grow in the CRM so that no one is at risk than simply return home. He thinks he needs to deal with this alone, and the entire episode is giving to him that he can't deal with this alone. Jadis, in the last episode, the episode 3, she already said that no one can stop Rick and Michonne together. And Rick's not understanding that because he's probably have some trauma inside his mind. And this time by watching this, I was thinking there will be some revelation coming. Let's keep watching. But now, look, Michonne losing hope and deciding to return home was something that we didn't imagine. And I can say that is the moment in the episode that everything gets better because of the CRM helicopter. The CRM, I think the reclamation team, they are there to cover all the evidence of the helicopter because they found out about the crash, so they are destroying the helicopter for no one finds out about the CRM. Their secrets, they don't want to show anything about this group. The race against the time starts inside the building, and we see a lot of more about the scientists, the laboratories, people who died there served as a suggestion to Rick that he will not change the world alone. But there we go to another conversation, and this is a remarkable one when Rick tells Michonne that he's not the brave man anymore. Basically, he's not the brave man, and this is strong to hear. It shows the fear he feels for everything he's been through. Clearly, there's something he's hiding here. Here, I need to say we have an acting show from the Nigerira, and also she was doing everything in this episode. She was acting, she was the writer. She also told in the interview she helped the post-production. That's insane, that's crazy. But going back to the story, at this time we have some suggestions to Rick. In this moment, when Michonne got trapped, she tells Rick to leave, and he basically can't leave. So he's feeling something. We have the return to where it started, the apartment, and it prepares us to the episode's big twist. They finally have the opportunity to show some love, be together, and the scenes are so intense. I think it increased the connection between them. But here we go to the highlight. The moment that Michonne is telling that she's getting so affected by this and that she wants an answer. She wants to get Rick off the cycle, and she asks the question that everyone is waiting for. What is he hiding? There's something you need to explain. And I can say in this part I got a lot of goosebumps when he says that they took Carl away from him again. When he said this, I noticed that there's something wrong in his mind. The explanation that everything he dreamed of as something good that made him feel good in this group, in the CRM, they took from him. He stopped to dream about Carl, next he started to dream about Michonne. The scenes we saw in the episode 1, so he stopped to dream about Michonne. It makes him feel the loss of Carl again, but it makes him very, very afraid of losing Michonne and his family, who is still alive. I really feel sorry for Rick in this scene, but I have to say about Andrew Lincoln, he was incredible here. His performance, his acting, everything. Andrew Lincoln also destroyed here, but the big highlight is when Michonne shows Rick her cell phone. I was completely stunning by the vibe of it. I believe most of fans cried at the scene, and literally it's Michonne giving Rick the opportunity to see Carl's face again and remember him. She bought this art back in the episode 3 when she was in the Philadelphia Square. This is the masterpiece of the script, the impact they gave us. Like Carl, even dead, is one of the greatest motivations for Rick. This is the very good justice for the character. And there we go to Rick and Michonne now being motivated together to escape. This last part starts to generate comfort in us, but there's a reason for that. Like this ending scene gives us good sensations, good vibes, and good expectations. So now they really left the CRM, they're going home, so we can expect the reunions we all waiting for years. And the question is, we really can expect this right now? I have to say, we still have 2 episodes. This is really an episode that must divide opinions, but for me, this is the best script so far. It clarifies how intense the traumas that Rick suffered were, from the point that even with everything in hand, again he was unable to go home, resolving this with justice for Carl and encouraging us to see if there will be reunions to happen. At certain points I still go against the critics. They all think this is the best episode so far in the episode. I still think the episode 1 is the best, but this is close. This is the second one, although I can give the same rank that I gave to the first episode. For me, this episode is perfect. I did the same thing. I was watching the first time, the second time, the third time, trying to find something wrong, trying to find something that I can say it's not working, but I failed in this mission. Here is evident how important it was for the production to let Andrew Lincoln and Danai Gurira to be in the production, to write the scripts, to participate in the story decisions, because no one can understand their characters better than them. It doesn't even seem like that we are in the same universe that season 7 of Fear the Walking Dead and season 1 of The Walking Dead World Beyond, which were ridiculous. This show that we waited for a long time has been very successful. So put in the comments, what is your opinion? Because I think there's someone who didn't like this episode, and that's your opinion. You can share, feel free to share in the comments. Don't forget to give the like, don't forget to subscribe in the channel, because in this week there will be more videos. There's something special that I'm preparing for you, and that's it. I'll be back. Bye.